In the quaint town of Blackwood, the Fenton mansion stood as an enigmatic relic of the past. Perched atop a hill, its once grand facade had fallen into disrepair, whispering secrets of forgotten times. Dark, gnarled trees surrounded the estate, their branches intertwining like skeletal fingers reaching for the heavens. The mansion's silhouette cast long, eerie shadows that stretched across the grounds, creating an unsettling atmosphere that few dared to breach. On a stormy autumn night, the Fenton famille, seemingly ordinary couple, Emma and Robert, and their curious daughter, Lily, arrived to take ownership of the long-abandoned mansion. Drawn by its historic charm and the opportunity to restore it to its former glory, they were unaware of the sinister presence that lurked within its walls. As they stepped inside, the wind howled through the creaking doors, sending a shiver down their spines. Dust hung thick in the air, dancing in the dim light of their lanterns. The grand staircase stood in the center, leading to the upper floors where mysteries awaited. "Lily, stay close," Emma warned as they ascended the steps, their footsteps echoing in the cavernous space. The sound of raindrops tapping against the windows added to the sense of unease. Days turned into weeks, and the Fentons settled into their new home. They busied themselves with renovations, attempting to breathe life back into the decaying mansion. However, as the nights grew longer and the shadows deeper, they began to notice peculiar occurrences. Lily, with her boundless curiosity, was the first to hear the whispers. At night, when the house was cloaked in darkness, faint voices seemed to emanate from the attic above. She often found herself awakening in a cold sweat, heart pounding, as if someone or something was calling her name. "Mommy, Daddy, I heard it again," Lily whispered one morning, her eyes wide with fear. "Nonsense, darling," Robert reassured her. "Old houses make strange noises. It's just the wind." But Emma wasn't so sure. The whispers felt too deliberate, too insidious to be dismissed as mere wind. As the whispers grew more persistent, Emma decided to investigate the attic herself. Armed with a flashlight, she climbed the rickety ladder, feeling an oppressive chill as she pushed open the attic door. The air was thick and musty, and the beam of her flashlight cut through the darkness, illuminating forgotten relics covered in dust. "Who's there?" Emma called out, her voice trembling. The whispers ceased, replaced by an unsettling silence. She felt a presence, a malevolent force watching her every move. Her flashlight flickered, and in that momentary lapse of light, she glimpsed shadowy figures darting across the attic. Panic surged through her veins as she descended the ladder with haste, slamming the door shut behind her. "Robert, there's something up there," she gasped, her face pale and drawn. Something sinister. Robert's skepticism waned in the face of his wife's terror. He agreed to confront whatever lurked in the attic. Together, they returned, armed with determination and courage. The attic was a labyrinth of forgotten memories, old trunks, tattered furniture, and cobweb-covered portraits. The whispers returned, growing louder and more insistent. It felt as though the house itself was alive, pulsating with malevolence. In the corner of the attic, they discovered an old, ornate mirror. Its surface was darkened, reflecting shadows rather than light. As they approached, the whispers grew to a deafening crescendo, and the mirror's surface began to ripple like disturbed water. Emma and Robert stood transfixed as ghostly apparitions emerged from the mirror, figures from the mansion's past, trapped in a perpetual state of torment. Their hollow eyes bore into the living, their whispers a desperate plea for release. Lily, drawn by the commotion, joined her parents in the attic. The apparitions reached out, their spectral hands seeking the warmth of the living. In a moment of sheer terror, the family realized they had unwittingly opened a portal to the past filled with pain, suffering, and darkness. The apparitions' whispers turned into anguished wails, filling the attic with an otherworldly cacophony. The temperature plummeted, and the air grew thick with despair. The Fentons' breaths came in ragged gasps as they fought to close the portal and banish the spirits. But the darkness was relentless, and the mansion itself seemed to conspire against them. The walls closed in, the shadows deepened, and the whispers grew louder. It was as if the very fabric of reality was unraveling around them. In a final, desperate act, Emma and Robert shattered the mirror, hoping to sever the connection to the past. The glass splintered into 1,000 shards, and the apparitions dissipated into the ether. The attic fell silent, the whispers finally silenced. The Fentons descended the ladder, their faces etched with the horror they had witnessed. The mansion, once a symbol of hope and renewal, now stood as a monument to darkness and despair. The days following their departure from the mansion were marked by a deep sense of dread. The Fentons could not escape the memories of the haunted whispers and ghostly apparitions. Emma, in particular, felt an invisible presence lingering around her, as if the darkness had followed them. One stormy evening, as the wind howled outside their new home, Emma received a mysterious package. Inside was an old leather-bound journal, its pages yellowed with age. The journal belonged to Eliza Fenton, one of the mansion's original inhabitants, and it chronicled the harrowing events that had taken place within its walls. With trembling hands, Emma began to read Eliza's account. October 12, 1846. The mansion has grown colder, darker. The whispers from the attic have become incessant, their voices a constant reminder of the torment that lies within. They call to me, begging for release from their eternal suffering. I fear that the darkness will consume us all. October 30th, 1846. My beloved husband, Jonathan, ventured into the attic last night. He sought to confront the spirits and put an end to their torment. But when he returned, he was changed a shadow of his former self. His eyes, once filled with warmth, now bore the hollow emptiness of the cursed. November 15th, 1846. The darkness has claimed Jonathan. He roams the halls, a spectral figure, whispering the secrets of the past. I fear I am next, that the mansion's malevolence will consume me as well. I write this in the hope that someone, someday, will find it and understand the true horror that lies within these walls. Emma's heart pounded as she read Eliza's final words. The journal confirmed her worst fears. The mansion was cursed, its spirits bound by a dark force that defied time and space. Determined to free the trapped spirits and put an end to the curse, Emma and Robert made the difficult decision to return to the mansion. Armed with the knowledge from Eliza's journal, they devised a plan to confront the darkness once and for all. As they approached the mansion, a sense of foreboding hung heavy in the air. The wind howled through the trees, and the shadows seemed to pulse with malevolence. They steeled themselves for the task ahead and crossed the threshold into the mansion's dark interior. Following the journal's instructions, they made their way to the attic. The whispers grew louder with each step, filling their minds with a sense of impending doom. When they reached the attic door, Emma paused, her hand trembling on the handle. "Are you ready?" Robert asked, his voice steady despite the fear in his eyes. Emma nodded, and together they pushed open the door. The attic was, as they remembered, dark, musty, and filled with forgotten relics. But now, The whispers were deafening, a chorus of anguished souls crying out for release. With the curse broken, Emma and Robert decided to restore the mansion, honoring its history while ensuring that its dark past would never be forgotten. They transformed it into a museum, a place where visitors could learn about the Fenton family's tragic history and the spirits that once haunted its halls. As they worked on the renovations, they often thought of Eliza and the other souls who had suffered within the mansion's walls. They took comfort in knowing that they had freed the spirits and put an end to the cycle of torment. Lily, now older and wiser, often accompanied her parents to the mansion. She no longer feared the attic, for she knew that the whispers had been silenced and the darkness had been banished. The mansion stood as a testament to the power of determination and the resilience of the human spirit. Its grand facade was once again a symbol of hope and renewal, and the Fenton family found solace in knowing that they had made a difference. Years passed, and the Fenton family continued to thrive. The mansion's history became a source of fascination for visitors, who marveled at the tales of the haunted whispers and the courage of those who had faced the darkness. And though the whispers had been silenced, there were times when, on a quiet night, a faint echo could be heard, an echo of the past, a reminder of the mansion's dark history and the spirits that had once called it home. For the Fentons, the journey had been one of fear and courage, of darkness and light. And as they stood together, they knew that they had conquered the darkness and emerged stronger, forever bound by the whispers from the attic.